Cross 20 left, ground 85 on FedEx.
Today, 24-17.
Turn runway 4203, control on your right. Center and runway 1 here, 1 short of Bravo, runway 4203. Check. Take up on Lincoln, jump left. Alright, 18 left, away to American 2009. B 18 left, over takeoff, American 2000. 18 left, line up and wait on the center of the fan, we're ready. Let's right left with the kilo, boys, 4009. Touchdown, American 320, visual 18 right. Clear to land, right, short, taxiway Bravo, American 2. Roger down, Phaser 5. Alright, 1 left, 7 take off, 13730. Bring that line for weight on 434. Alright, opposite departure, American 2000, I think. Bravo,
with a camera.
1681.
The following program comes to you in color.
Right now, B Park 18 left, 36, boy 3454.
And a very pleasant good evening to you from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. It's Walt back with you for another edition of Runway DFW After Dark. We're still a few minutes away from sunset, about 25 minutes to be exact, but it's an overcast late afternoon, early evening here in North Texas, so settle in there and we'll bring you the action that we can from Runway DFW. And I very much apologize for our tardiness. We're down to 2 cameras today. Normally we have at least 3. Today, this is our alternate camera, and all I've got today is a tripod with everything kind of glommed onto it, plus a step stool over here with the computer on it, and that's it. So we won't have our regular presentation, but we'll get as close as we can. There you see Volaris. That would be an Airbus A320. It's going to Monterrey, Mexico.
Envoy 3621. Envoy 3454, good day.
Let's see, is that working? Oh, that's working. Hello, Sarah Deal. A greeting to you. I see our moderators O'Malley, the random spotter Luke, Smoke and Slice Barbecue. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize. Channel member Theo Smaglik is here. Larry Brown with an anti-M, yes, it is another one reason we're down to, I had a very limited amount of time. I had only about 40 minutes to set up. Usually I give myself an hour, and that is because I had to work a little later than I had anticipated, so that cut down on my preparation time. But the other factor is wind. It is a very windy evening here at DFW. Let me check the METAR. Wind coming out of pretty much the south at 13 knots, 15 miles an hour, gusting to 25 knots, 29 miles per hour. So I didn't put up our table today, thinking that might become a portable wing.
Clear land 18 right, short head Bravo, American 21.
So we're just kind of getting blown around out here at Founders Plaza. Oh, okay. Anna the dispatcher. I did not mean to leave you out as one of our mods. Thank you, Anna. And there's her husband, Ascending Dragon 1, our official Runway DFW American Eagle pilot, saying good evening from Casa Bueno del Silveron. We've got, well, while we wait for this plane, we've got American Airlines Flight 2387 arriving from San Francisco. It's an Airbus A321. You're going to see a lot of this image tonight as I switch between cameras. In addition to the Volaris plane over yonder, we've got a United Airbus A319 Flight 2330. That one's going to Denver, Colorado. And it's our first 20th century plane of the night.
1998.
He'll be 27 years old in June.
Alright, heading 190, I'm seeing 1 up and away, let's go take off on 3930.
Runway left final point, onboard 3378. Downboard 34, visual 18 right.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's check out the arrival of American Airlines Flight 2196. This one coming to us from the state capital of Texas, Austin. See, Elva Firestone says hello on this gusty night. I lost that one. I was mentioning on one of our previous recent broadcasts that I don't think I remember in the almost 3.5-year history of this program, of this channel, encountering so many consecutive broadcasts where we've had wind, significant wind. And I don't know if statistically that's accurate or not. I just know by what we're encountering.
Departure, good day, onboard 37.
There's a departure over on the east side of the airport. It looked like a big plane, so I was drawn to it. And I can't tell what it is quite yet. Well, we may never know. We do have some wide-body planes that we'll have for you this evening. I have a list. Around the top of the hour, well, actually, at the top of the 8 o'clock, no wait, this is going to be the 8 o'clock hour, right? Okay. The top of the hour, UPS 767 coming in from Houston Intercontinental. About 10 minutes after that, we see what looks to be our only 747 of the night, an Atlas 747 arriving from Montreal. So we have that to look forward to in the next few minutes if my sources are accurate. There's Texas Girl, one of our Quadjet channel members, and a good friend of the channel. She was here when we were here on Tuesday evening. Good evening, Walt, and everyone. How's everyone doing? All right, here comes the Volaris. And once again, this is headed to the Mexican city of Monterrey.
South American 1456, looks for the visual 18 right.
1456, runway 18 right, clear to land with 16014.20.
So land 18 right from next 14.
2330 on FB Park, runway left, clear to take off.
Hard after B Park, clip up 18 left, United 2330.
Yeah, with 4937, runway left, line of
18 left, runway 34, 39, hold short of
Here goes the United 20th Century plane off to San Francisco, as I recall. Okay, time to play Guess the Livery. Walt, what is that red tail there? Now, I'm going to say that's Turkish. Now, I've had some problems recently, at a glance, misidentifying Turkish or confusing it with Qantas. But I'm going to say, squinting at my 2-inch screen there, that is that's going to be Turkish. So I pat myself on the back for that. Here comes a CRJ touching down.
RNSP Park, cleared for takeoff, 18 left, 2698.
American Eagle 4958 is that. From San Angelo, Texas. I do have a special treat later on once we get going here, and if we have a lull in the broadcast. I've got some really incredible images of DFW Airport from the 1970s, from the early days of DFW Airport. One of our viewers who did not wish to be credited sent these images to us, and I think you'll enjoy them. American Flight 1456 from Salt Lake City, Utah is on the horizon. It's an Airbus A321. Our next arrival on runway DFW. Coming on in over the shrubbery.
Go departure, American 2698.
As this plane catches some of the final rays of the day.
Local A Lima Golf, on cross 18 right, taxi Charlie to the ramp.
Texas Girl says that Atlas Air is coming in 1 hour as you look at a Dreamliner just crossing over to the American Airlines hangar area, 7879 Dreamliner.
Runway, runway 18 left, convoy, DFW.
I see Pittsburgh Don, one of our great mods, in the house now. Hello, Don. Celebrating a butter landing of the last plane we saw. Bill Caldham checking in from South Central Arkansas. We are here with you from the Founders Plaza at DFW Airport. We're going to a little sunset here for you. I think we can get the shot.
B Park, 1 left, take off runway 3380.
So let me see if I can punch this up from behind here. There we go. Sunset at 8. My watch says it's at 8 o'clock tonight. I guess we've got a little bit of, we've got a little bit of terrain betwixt here and the horizon. Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything as far as flights go right now. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm all cattywampus as far as my setup goes tonight. This is, I've only tried this one tripod bit once or twice before.
Boy, 1802, final 180 right and 1 knots.
Joey Chan says good evening. Mods? Carol Ann, appreciating an awesome sunset here in Texas.
Ground 65 on top of the bridge, crossing 180.
Texas Girl likes that as well. I should take out that message so we can see the tail end of that sunset. Jonathan McD notes that it's a wee bit breezy.
Departure from runway 380, I'm going.
So we say goodbye to the sun as officially signifying the runway DFW after dark. But yeah, I don't know why my watch is putting it like a full 8 minutes in the future. I guess because of that building that we're looking over. So it'll get dark quickly here. I see something along the lines of a super chat, and this one is from our friend and Quadjet channel member 757 Chip, who says, Walt, the design of DFW was studied in depth during my transportation engineering class in the mid-70s. It was the subject of one of my class papers. You know, I wonder, I remember when, you know, it opened, and it was, you know, this airport was seen as an engineering marvel and something that, you know, was very well planned with the horseshoe-shaped half-circle, well, not horseshoe-shaped, but half-circle terminals.
Runway 3845, visual
But by the, I guess by the turn of the century, they decided that half circles were not it anymore, and so when they built Terminal D, the international terminal, that was designed with a rectangular shape.
Front B Park, left clear for takeoff on Boy 3804.
And the newest terminal, Terminal F, will also be in a rectangular shape. So the original design of the airport hasn't been carried through. Here's a look, as you can see in the center of the shot of this satellite image, you can see the kind of the half-circle shapes divided by a road in the middle of the airport. And we're in South Flow tonight. There's South Flow. But to go back to the image, so you can see you can see 5 half circles, 3 on the east side or the right side of the screen, and 2 on the west side, and then the third one, the lower left of all the terminals, is Terminal D, that rectangular one.
Departure out at 3804.
Our next arrival is American Flight 3845 from San Antonio, Texas, and Embraer 175. You may be asking, what about UPS tonight, Walt?
DFW Tower, helicopter, cloud, go run line. Stop on planner, looking for 183.
Helicopter 50 Romeo Mike.
Well, we have one MD-11 in the house. There it is. It's getting loaded up. That should be going out to Chicago Rockford International Airport at about 10:25 tonight. At least that's what's on the schedule. But we do have another one coming in. No. Okay, we have an MD-11 leaving for Louisville at 9:18. So I guess we have two going. That can't roll. Oh, maybe that'll come in and go out. I don't know. Maybe I have bad information. We should see at least one. Well, there's one right there. And again, within the hour, we should be seeing an Atlas Air 747 cargo plane coming in. So let's see. Flight 3845 from San Antonio is about to check in. American Eagle flight, an Embraer 175. Here on Runway DFW after dark as we approach the top of the hour.
American A1 Heavy, back for 18 right.
American Heavy, 1 Heavy, Tower, good evening. Romeo 18 right to the land, wind 160 at 15.
American Flight 81. You might have heard it on the ATC. American Flight 81. 777 300 ER is about 2 minutes away. It is coming from London Heathrow. There's the scene here at Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Founders Plaza.
Runway 18 left, almost 770.
J.R. Melton says, I remember when equipment was moved from Love Field to DFW. It was done in the middle of the night. I stepped out of our building and watched it for a while. Yeah, there was a big exodus from Dallas Love Field in 1975. We're waiting on the big triple coming in. Michael Moore, BHM says, LOL, the temporary signs have blown up. I think all the temporary signs related to this fence that is a temporary fence around here have blown down. Pardon me?
I was reading your shirt.
Oh, yes, that's our YouTube channel. We're live right now.
So you're actually broadcasting?
Yes, to the world.
Good idea.
Thank you. We are broadcasting to the world. And wherever you are in the world, I greet you. Here at the top of the hour, you are watching Runway DFW After Dark, an exclusive service of Runway DFW. And as far as I know, I think we were the first live stream to regularly broadcast from here. I'm No, I don't think I'm making any false claims there, but if I am, I apologize. Okay, here comes Flight 81, filled with passengers from London and beyond. And of course, as you probably know, British Airways used to serve this route from Heathrow to Dallas, Fort Worth, and last month, the end of last, was it last month? March? Yeah. At the end of last month, British Airways suspended its daily its A380 flight. So we don't see any A380s until mid-August, when Qantas brings the gigantic Flying Roo in to see us.
American 1104, wind check.
So they're going to head on over to Terminal D, and right behind that we've got another wide body. This one will be cargo oriented. It's going to be UPS Flight 773 coming in from Houston Intercontinental George Bush Worldwide Airport. It'll be a 767. There's the METAR from Woot Doctor for you METAR-enabled viewers. The prime consideration today is wind. We've got a lot of wind. It's been a little windier here before, but my METAR saying wind 17 miles an hour from compass point 170, 17 miles an hour, 15 knots, 28 kilometers per hour, gusting to 22 knots, 25 miles an hour. Anna, the dispatcher, says, Walt, I'm going to teach you how to read a METAR. Yeah, I admit that I am not.
Wait, left line, wait,
I have problems. I know there's probably a simple. I just haven't applied myself really. I think I could do it. But Anna could probably. I suspect she's a good teacher of those kinds of things. All right, we're waiting for that UPS 767, and it is just about to enter our field of view here on Runway DFW. Welcome to you.
118 left, take off,
Of course, there's people coming and going all the time from live streams like this. We hope you'll stick around for a while.
Departure 1104. We're power frontier for flight 4070. Visual 18 right. Any customers understand clip and 18 right frontier flight 14.
turn has to be parked. Runway 18 left, clear for
I
takeoff.
don't know what it is tonight.
Take
We
off
seem
18
to have a
left,
lot
United
of
1113.
aircraft that are not American Airlines for some reason. This is United, of course. This is a 737-800. It's going to San Francisco. Didn't the last United plane also go to San Francisco? It's a 23-year-old
Modern ground 85.
737.
Park, you have a good night, phone. 1113.
This is American Flight 2235. It is going to Denver, Colorado on an Airbus A321. Channel member Chuck TXK from Texarkana, Texas, saying hello. Hello, Chuck. Rachel Daly Hug, channel member, says, I think the United livery is pretty classy looking. I really like it. Which one are you talking about? The current one or the previous one, which we also see quite frequently here? I guess I have to say I like the current one better. Although there's a lot of people who'd like to see the tulip return to the tail instead of what's on the tail now, which is kind of a salute to Continental. Oh, and there's CPA 919 reflecting just what I said. Bring back the tulip. You may hear in the background, and now we will see the UPS 767, which we saw just moments ago landing.
American 2655, 890 for 189.
So we'll watch this pull in, and then we'll flip over to incoming traffic and watch American Flight 2465, a MAX 8 coming in from Santa Ana, California on runway DFW.
Hey Brad, 943,
There's a flight. There's the MAX 8 from Santa Ana. And right behind it, American Flight 2655 from Portland, Oregon, an Airbus A321. So that will be our next arrival here on the show. Jeffrey Boo with a $10 super chat. Love the channel, Walt. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Plane American 2235.
So we have members of the live studio audience walking out. All right, here comes the flight from Portland.
American 2230.
We have some emergency vehicles which are on the move. We get asked about this quite frequently.
Zulu, cross 18 left, hold short 18, by minus 238.
It does not indicate that there's any kind of an aircraft emergency, but these units are deployed for a variety of reasons. It could be a passenger who is ill, it could be like a car fire or a motor vehicle accident on the property, the airport property.
Cross 18 left, Whiskey Lima, Fox Alpha, and then we'll go over to the other side on the bridge. 2655.
Departure good 9, American 2235.
American Flight 843 from Austin, Texas is our next arrival. It's an Airbus A319 on runway DFW. Well, I think before we get that Atlas Air 747 in here, I'd like to show you this parade of images which one of our viewers sent to us. It documents some of the earliest times, or some of the earliest years here at DFW. And I think you'll find it of interest. Let me find our music here. Stand by.
Golf A, cross 18 left. Golf over to ground, American 843.
Okay, so we're going to switch over to that that presentation now. Going back in time to I believe this will be from the 1970s. Let's take a look.
Tower, will there report to the visual 18 right?
Look there, an American Airlines 707. An American Airlines DC-10. Can you believe these shots? Look at that thing. DC-10. Tri-jet. We'll see some more tri-jets here in a little bit.
RNAV to
But first, an Air France Concorde. Yes, The Concorde flew here, as did the British Airways Concorde, in conjunction with Braniff Airways. Well, what do we have here? A 727 American with a British Caledonian DC-10. Some classic action from here at DFW. Hey, there's a Delta 747. And there's a Delta Trijet, an L1011. And there's an Eastern Whisperjet L1011. Oh yeah, Eastern Airlines. How about a Lufthansa 747 with the classic livery? Boop that snoot. Another Trijet for you. Lufthansa DC-10.
DFW, good evening, French Airplane 1623, visual 18 right.
Okay, this is our last view of Pan Am 747 SP. One of the rarest 747s you'll ever see. And I would like to thank our viewer who wishes to remain anonymous for sharing these shots with us. What a great collection of early DFW Airport content. Thank you. Well, that brings back some memories from people who, lived through that era, and also it's pretty wild for people who didn't. As we watch this UPS 767 flight 751, it's going to Louisville.
Yes. 731 after.
If you have any nostalgic photos or other things you want to share with us, walt@runwaydfw.com is my email address. And if it is a photo, make sure you let me know that I have your permission in writing to share it with our viewers.
Runway 3514, visual 1.
Robin M. peeking out of lurking to say those photos were awesome. They really were. I was geeking out when I was sent those images. And you know, I was around back in those days, but I wasn't taking pictures of airplanes. I really wish I had been. Which is one reason I get a little nostalgic when I see older planes that we won't be seeing too much longer, like the A340 and the MD-11, and I do always like to give a shout out to our future viewers here at Runway DFW. Hello in the future. Because, you know, chances are there will be somebody 10 years from now, maybe, watching on their holographic screen in the living room these crude 1080p resolution images. Well, I guess by then they will have come up with a way for AI to upscale them to room-size pictures. Thank you, AI. The lights are on here at Founders Plaza as the wind blows, as we get ready. Well, let me just pop on a few more reactions to that parade of images that we saw. Wood Doctor says it seems like Lufthansa is one of those airlines that likes to fly everything.
It's Golf crossing 18 left and 85, clear flight 3223.
Aaron Morin says, absolutely stunning throwback. Thanks, Walt. Well, don't thank me. Thank our viewer who wishes to remain anonymous. Because I just threw them out there for you to see, but our viewer was very gracious. Dale Helton, channel member, says, my first time to fly was on an Eastern L1011. We drove to Miami and then flew to the Bahamas. That was cool to see the old Eastern L1011 Whisper jet once again. Yeah, my first flight was on a Boeing, we didn't see it in that collection, but a Boeing 720, which was a variant, like a shorter range variant of the Boeing 707. And I flew that from New York to Orlando as a lad. And to tell you how long ago that was pre-Disney World. Or pre-Disney, yeah, Disney World. But we did go see Cape Canaveral. So that was, I was a kid. Very exciting. David Cavalcante, who's a channel member, says, hello guys, glad to be with you again. I'm glad you are here as well. Patrick Lloyd, channel member, says, I remember those days. Only airline I didn't see was Piedmont.
Cross 1 left with kilo ground,
I think I heard Kevin of Airline Videos Live saying the other day that he misses Piedmont. He used to fly Piedmont back in the day. As did I. Piedmont, Allegheny, both of which are represented by American Airlines special throwback liveries. The plane you see there is American Eagle 4188. It is going to ATW. What is that? Appleton. Appleton, Wisconsin.
Fascinating setup you have there.
Oh, well, thank you.
What are we doing here?
It's a live YouTube channel called Runway DFW.
Live YouTube channel called what?
Runway DFW.
Oh, okay.
Live.
Cool.
We're on the air right now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So I hope you'll check it out.
Do you have a lot of subscribers, do you?
More than 24,000.
Oh, wow. So you do this every night? Or?
No, about 2 or 3 times a week.
Wow. That's very cool.
So here goes the flight to Appleton. Yes, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you have a website there too.
Yeah, that's... I should have a link to it there, but I guess maybe I don't.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Next up, as far as arrivals go, is going to be American 2357. I'm sorry, 2351 from Mexico City, a 737-800. And that's about 2 or 3 minutes away. . we get some side action here as far as this UPS cargo plane goes. Can we go in a little more? There we go. The old scissor lift. Ralph Woodard says, please remind me where to go to gift memberships. You know, I don't know if that's if you're on a. It should be right under the message area on the right side of your screen if you're on a computer. If you are not on a computer, if you're on a phone or a tablet, I don't know if it's possible. Yeah, that's us. Channel member, we get a little nostalgia here. Nick Johnson says, remember People Express? I do. Never flew it, but I do remember it. So it looks like they are they closing this guy up here? I can't tell. A little ladder action going. The hatch is still open, as you can see. There's oh. Watch out, the hatch is closing. I guess he's over to the side of the hatch. We need some hatch closing sound effects.
Tower American 6118 right.
TC says, I heard that Cathay Pacific is adding new route from DFW to Hong Kong. Round trip, excited to see. Yes, that will fire up next week. Regrettably, yours truly will not be here to see it, as the commissioner, as 757 Chip likes to call her, the commissioner and I will be on assignment. But you might see something from us next week. But we won't have our regular DFW broadcasts next week. And I see a gifted membership, which has popped up on the screen. And that is Ralph Woodard, who has delivered unto us 5 Runway DFW gift memberships. Thank you so much, Ralph. And those are going to Yolene, Rohit Parkal, Joey Emery, Nismo Mike, and Bronner Smith, all new members here at Runway DFW. Thank you so much to Ralph Woodard for delivering those to us. That was Flight 2351 from Mexico City. Anthony Guinan, the channel member, says, anybody remember Laker Airlines? Sir Freddie Laker, of course. Another defunct carrier. American Flight 681 from Cancun, Mexico is about to make its presence known. This will be a 737-800.
Wait on Envoy 3541.
Left clear for takeoff, Envoy 3541.
MR Rice says that Cathay Pacific flight. The inaugural one will happen on next Thursday, if you're in the vicinity. Johnny Dodge, referring to me as our resident windsock. Johnny gifted me with a windsock. Here you can see my personal windsock fluttering in the wind. And Johnny, I haven't figured out a way to mount that. I'll figure it out before too long, but I still have it in my trunk here, and I really do appreciate your thoughtfulness with providing us with the official Runway DFW windsock. Got to figure out a foolproof way to mount it, maybe on the temporary fence. I did see Texas Girl in there. Let me go back to the chat here. Atlas Air in 6 minutes. That message was sent at 8:30. It's now 8:32, so I'm guessing it's about 4 minutes away. And let me look at our radar. So the Atlas Air from Toronto. It's entirely possible that it could come in on the east side of the airport. It's a 747-400, which I think is...
Departure on Boy 3541, connect.
Its profile is... can be accommodated by the bridges that cross between the east and west side, so we'll keep our eye on that. But it does look as though its current trajectory will bring it to the east side, so we may not get our best view of it, but we'll see it at least on the glide path. And that should be our only 747 of the evening. I'd like to welcome Trevor Cruz, who is a new subscriber to the channel. Thank you, Trevor. And as you know, Trevor, now a subscription is free, and it does give you entree to the chat room. Now, you can watch the chat if you're not a subscriber, but you got to be a subscriber in order to participate in the chat. So, and once you click the subscribe button, there's a 5-minute delay, just to make sure you're not trying to spam us. I hope you understand. I see Kai in the chat room. He's another one of our moderators. Thank you, Kai. I didn't see this earlier. Hassan Badr says, "Hey Walt, got a family member on flight 843 from Austin. Should be landing in about 12 minutes. Would be awesome if you caught it." Now, he sent that message, and thank you for that super chat. He sent that. I don't have a time code, but I think we got all the Austin flights that were coming in, so I hope we caught that for you. And I apologize for having missed your initial message. Rich Carlisle from Indiana says hello, Walt and everyone. Devin Martin says, "Hey Walt, watching the Antonov take off from Brisbane, Australia today. I saw that. I tuned into that stream very briefly, and I didn't have time to focus in on it as I was working." Okay, so yeah, it does look like, well...
Tower United 1565, this is Nettie for runway 18, visual.
Here, 1565, Tower, good evening, runway 18, back to the land, wind 160, 117.
Does look like the 747 is on target to come in on the east side. So let's see if we can make our camera go in that general direction. So it should be appearing to us in the skies over there. Tanman 3880, channel member, says, good evening, friends. Almost Good Friday. Yes, it's a holiday weekend for some. $757 Chips says, time for this old goat to spend some time with the significantly better half.
DFW Tower.
Enjoy, everyone.
Visual 185.
Thank you, Chip. We're so glad you were with us today. Thank you for your kind super chat. Thank you for your membership, and we'll see you soon.
Runway 18 right, clear of American 1559.
Aviation Geek says hello. COJ79 says, Walt, what do you do for a day job? I am I guess the equivalent would be in newspaper terms, an editor-in-chief of a TV station website. I'm the content manager, and the TV station is K10 TV, K10.com. So that's what I do. That's my thing. See, in the foreground here, just momentarily, we're going to see. Well, that was a United. I didn't think it looked familiar because it had the Star Alliance livery on that one. We, on the other hand, are on the warpath for Atlas Air Flight 193 coming in from Toronto, 747-400. And I think we're just about to see it. There it is.
1998.
Unit 1565 at Whiskey Lima, cross Romeo 18 left, turn right Foxtrot, Alpha, contact ground 165 and top of the bridge tonight.
Cross the 18 left at Whiskey Lima.
Have some obstacles to navigate as we watch this come in.
Good evening, 1002, Nettie inbound, right.
Your wind 1002, tower, good evening, Romeo 18 right to the land, wind 160 at 15,
18 clear to land, Sterling 1002.
So a 26-year-old aircraft there, coming in from Toronto after a 2-hour and 38-minute flight. Somewhere out here in this shot or thereabouts, so I think I see it now. Arriving from Wichita Falls, Martin Air Flight 680 on this Cessna Super Cargo Master. And we're going to have a delayed musical salute here because I can't take pictures of that plane and reach over to my soundboard to tell you that that plane was built in the year
1989.
So, but we finally got that taken care of.
59 Whiskey Lima, cross Romeo 18 left, take contact ground on point speed 5, good night.
Whiskey Lima, cross 18 left, ground 85 American 15.
Take a look back over at UPS land as they we saw them close the cargo hatch on the right side of this plane, but the cargo hatch on the left side is still open and they're still doing some stuff over there. Channel member Billy Farrar says, love the night stream, Walt. Great job. Thank you, Billy. And for our regular viewers who may be used to seeing more angles than we have tonight, I don't only have 2 cameras tonight, which is not the norm for our broadcast. Usually we have at least 3 at night. Our first look at the Banana Bird, brightening the night sky.
RNFP Park, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 4.
I can tell you that plane came in from Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A320neo. And yeah, to explain our setup tonight, we've just got this camera. This is our main camera. And then we've got this, which is actually just a smartphone on a tripod, as you can see me. And so all we've got tonight is just one tripod. We don't have our table. We don't have our second camera on a tripod. And all the stuff, most of the stuff that would normally be on the table is over here on this step stool. So, and that's because mainly because of the wind, but also because I was I got here a little late tonight, owing to my regular job. So I had about 40 minutes to set up, and usually give myself an hour. We got on the air on time, but I wasn't quite ready to begin broadcasting, so it was kind of a minor victory, I guess. That is American Flight 364 off to San Jose, California, 737-800. Here's an American Eagle. Looks like 170. Yes, it is. An Embraer 170 arriving from Josh Aldrich territory in Oklahoma City. Flight 3811.
Third to land, 1 right, United 3753.
We have a question here from COJ79. Walt, Canon, Nikon, or Sony? Looks like Sony for video. How about stills? Our primary nighttime cameras are both Sonys. We only have one deployed tonight. It is a ZV-E1, and we have Panasonic camcorders for our daytime shows because they have a little better zoom range, but they don't work well at all at night. And if you have an interest in our specific gear, that information is included in the description of our broadcast here on YouTube. So just look in there, and it gives you a link to pretty much all the gear we use, at least the primary stuff. From the City of Angels, Los Angeles, American Flight 1657, an Airbus A321neo.
To departure, American 22.
Aria's World says, do you like going to Founders Plaza during the day or night? Well, it depends on the season, really. As we see some ground operations vehicles there. I don't know if we've got a runway closed or not. We've got a plane getting ready to take off. We've got a plane ready to land, so... but anyway, I'm not crazy about being here in the daytime in the summer, if you know what I mean. It gets pretty hot here at out in the open at Founders Plaza, and it's also kind of taxing on our gear.
Take off runway 18 left, turn at the runway at 3723.
Conversely, in the winter time, I'd prefer to be here in the daytime when there's at least some sun. It's a United Airbus A321neo. Do we see many of those? I don't think we do. It's coming from Houston Intercontinental, which of course is a big United hub. But usually we get A319s or A320s from Houston. So, but that's
Happy Park, runway 18.
321. And that's a relatively new plane. It's a year old in January. So we see the gamut of United Airlines and sometimes Delta planes as well, as far as their vintage goes. Barb Larkin says good evening from Milwaukee. Have you ever been to the EAA in Oshkosh, Wisconsin? And no, I have not. And I know it has been recommended to me. Well, I've never made arrangements to go up there and check it out. I know it's a very well-covered event, so. But I'll have to investigate that a little further. I don't even know when it is.
20 left at Golf 8, American 1657.
My next plane spotting gathering will be the Cranky Dorkfest out at LAX in mid-September. I've been there for 2 years, and so this will be my 3rd. And it's a great place to hang out with fellow plane spotters. Coming into the picture now, American Flight 3315. It will be off to San Diego, California, an Airbus A321. As you see the emergency vehicle headed back to its home base. Our channel sponsor James Webb has just checked in with another incredible $200 super chat. Thank you, James. Thank you so very much for that. Means a lot. I think he knows that, but his generosity is really off the charts in a good way. We see this one go up. I think we may get another look at that 747. Well, there's the tail of it sticking out from the top of that fence. We're talking about the Atlas Air 747, which came in from Toronto about how many minutes ago, Walt? About 11 minutes ago. Landed over on the east side. We saw it come in. Well, we saw it gliding in. But then it kind of disappeared from our view. Landed on the east side, came over the bridge. It's 747-400, a 20th century model. In fact, Atlas Air. There's another Martin Air. Kind of photobombs us there. That one coming in from Tyler, Texas.
$19.89.
$36-year-old aircraft. And there's the Queen of the Skies. Kind of a view. It's about to make a left turn. Oh, there it goes. Just as I predicted. So that's all we're going to see of that, but we got to see a little bit. American Eagle 3975 from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Embraer 175 is next in line for arrivals. Stingray says hello to me and all you DFWers. How are you all doing?
18 left, American 1771.
That doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? DFWers.
20 right, clear, 438, 89.
Going to give you a little indication of the wind here without our windsock in place. See if we can do this here. Got a little glare from the spotlight here, but we're looking north here, so you can see how the wind is propelling those banners.
Short 18 left, Whiskey Lima on board 3975.
Get a METAR update here.
Have a great day, American 66.
Wind 15 knots, 17 miles an hour, gusting to 22 knots, 25 miles an hour. Joshua LeClaire says, good evening. Always happy to see you. Derek W. Hat, channel member, says, James Webb rocks, such an awesome person. God bless you, James. American Flight 303 is going to Spokane, Washington on this Airbus A320.
$19.99.
And there's a 20th century plane for you. Whenever I look up an American Airlines A320, it more often than not is a from the 1900s.
Cross 185, hold short 185 for Alpha local 269. Cross 18 left at Whiskey Lima, 0.5 on the ground, runway 3975.
The plane arriving there was American Eagle 3889 from Monterrey in Mexico, number 175. Oh, look at that. Isn't that abstract there? All those colorful lights that aren't in focus.
303, contact question.
303.
Runway 38 in natural full position, I Gulf 8, cross 3 left, contact ground 45.
Plus 18 left, Gulf 8, ground 85, envoy 3889.
Runway 3359, runway left, line away, traffic crossing downfield.
What I left, envoy.
Just before the top of the hour, here in North Texas, you're watching. Oops, that's the wrong logo. Walt, come on. You're watching Runway DFW After Dark. I figured as long as we have a blurry background, we might as well put our logo over it. We are coming to you live and direct from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. Been on the air for about 90 minutes now, just before 9 o'clock. We'll be with you through about 10:30-ish is what our normal course of action is. And we're glad you could be here. My name is Walt. We haven't met before. I would like to introduce myself, and we do this several times a week here at Runway DFW, at DFW Airport. I will not be with you from DFW Airport next week, as Mrs. Runway DFW and I will be on assignment. You know what that means. But I may pop in here with a broadcast or two from our destination. So have those notification bells turned on, won't you? On Runway DFW. You know what I'm going to do now? Because this will be before I forget, because I would probably forget to do this, and I don't like to forget to do this. It is our salute to Runway DFW members. So the names of all of our members, almost 500 of them, will be crawling across your screen for the next 15 minutes or so. And we like to call out the list of our Quadjet members. So, but first of all, we got to thank James Webb, not only for that super chat, but also for being the official sponsor of Runway DFW. Thank you so much, James Webb. Now comes the names of our Quadjet members. This list was compiled at, I want to say 11 a.m. this morning. So if you are a new member, if you've been gifted a member, if you've joined since then, watch for your name on an upcoming broadcast. Here we go with our Quadjet members. 757 Chip, Airplanes FRA, Alan J, Angela Smith, Anna the Dispatcher, Beaker and Honeydew, Beve, Bill Platt, Cubs Win, Dwayne C, Essorents, James Webb, there's that name again, John Lipman, Josh Aldrich, Kevin D, Kirby Brooks Sr., KS Avgeek, Lori M, Michael Flannery, Michael Schwarzkopf, Michelle R.S., Mike G, Netgear, Only Planes Network. Are they the ones who had the Antonov today? I think so. Patrick Wooters, Pete Nordine, Payathon, S35 Bonanza Pilot, Sarah Deal, Skittles, Steve Lundaby, Stuart Kircher, Texas Girl, The Grinch, TNT Oh My, and Will Hutchison. Those are our Quadjet channel members. Thanks to each of you. And now it's time to see the Trijet and Twin Jet members. I appreciate each of you and thank you for your membership in Runway DFW. Back to the planes as those names scroll across your screen. We've got American Airlines Flight 3286 from Las Vegas and Airbus A321 about to enter our view.
At 21 left, 25 6. Departure 2430.
I was kind of hoping we'd see the moon again tonight. We saw, it was Tuesday night when we got this shot of the moon just rising just to the north of the east tower here. And then on Saturday, we were able to bring you the, what was it called? The pink moon. As it was rising. It was kind of fun. But I think we got low clouds, or clouds on the horizon tonight, so I don't think we'll see the moon. I'm not sure. Of course, it would be a little less full than we saw it on Saturday, and be a little more squished looking than we saw it on Tuesday.
Plan 18 right.
Alert, runway 18 left, scripting over 2070.
18 left, mile away, skies 49.
That's Flight 2567 to Portland, Oregon, Airbus A320 Neo. All right, let's get an update on our MD-11 over here. Well, they're still loading that thing up. Turkish Flight 192 is on the move. That is a Dreamliner. Often confused by me with a Qantas aircraft, but not tonight. I'm on it tonight. Looky there. That's not a roux on that tail. Flight 192 going to Istanbul, of course. And as I recall, Turkish now operates, well, it had been operating daily, and I think they added 2 or 3 flights to their schedule, so they're probably up to about 10 or 11 flights weekly betwixt here and Istanbul. Beto Basilio is checking in from Little Rock, Arkansas. Thank you, Beto.
190, 10,001 left for a second. Up and away at 18 past American 1759.
American Flight 1888 from Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, 737-800. More UPS cargo action for you there as we plan out our next shot.
Echo Alpha, hold short, American.
Air 1759 on that layer at the runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
18 left, clear for RNAV layer and American 759.
Envoy 2133, DFW keep deploying American 321 in sight, runway 18 left, line of way.
And left line of away, Envoy 4273.
We have greetings from Robert Miner. Hello, Robert. We have American Flight 2512 coming in from Tampa, Florida. This one will be a 737-800. And to do that, I've got to switch to camera 2 momentarily. And switch over to shrubbery cam.
On wait after the American, Embraer American 1222.
Gives you a little indication of the wind. And talking about our cameras, you know, I cannot see that shrubbery, that tree. It's a small tree actually. That shows up so very clearly in this shot. I cannot see it with my eyes. It's just in the dark. So credit to Sony cameras for that.
Inside American 1222, clear for takeoff 18 left, RNAV Laren.
American Flight 1222.
Flying left, line of American 861.
It's an Airbus A321neo. It is going to Phoenix, Arizona, and you may have seen it there. The not Qantas Turkish Airways plane, which is going to Istanbul, and it will be taking off from over here on the west side tonight. I'm going to say like 70% of the time that plane is pointed over to the east side of the airport. So thank you, air traffic controllers.
RNAV Laren, left, clear for takeoff, American 860. Or 18 left, line American 1797.
You may have noticed that there seems to be like a freeze frame when we switch between cameras. That was introduced in a software update on our little switcher here. And I found out today that they have new software or firmware that will rectify that little hitch in the video. I didn't have time to install it today because unfortunately with this gizmo that we use to send you the pictures, you have to rebuild everything after you update from one software to the next. So I gotta do that on a day when I have some free time, and I didn't have any today. COJ79 says, Walt, long shot here, but any correlation between the James Webb NASA telescope and our Runway DFW benefactor? No, there is no, at least not as far as he's told me. But I have reason to believe that Mr. Webb's profession is somewhat far afield from space astrophotography.
Cross 18 left, short 18 right, over and fast.
Yeah, by 3470 overnight.
Smoke and Slice says, good night all, headed to go irritate my wife. Thank you for being here tonight. And again, congratulations on your new job. That Colin guy says, updates. The infinite fun. Channel member James Moy also checking out for the night. We are glad you could spend some of your evening with us. Well, let's see. As we wait for the Turkish plane to head back to Istanbul, we've got an American Eagle CRJ coming in from, I believe it's Shreveport, Louisiana.
Right, Charlie the ramp, bring her over Fox. Now, avoid 4048, vehicle, 1 right. One 8 right, clear to land, we'll hold short of Bravo, 4048.
Nick Johnson says, Walt, you have a bucket list of planes to fly before they retire. Well, I was able to cross off the A380 on my list last year on a flight from LAX to Seoul, and I hope to do the same thing this year, but with a Korean Air 747, which I've never been on.
20 left line of weight on board 3783.
Even though I've been alive for longer than the 747 has been flying in the skies, I've never had a chance to be on one. And I would like to rectify that later this year. So that's really the only other major plane that I have a hankering to be on. As I mentioned earlier, I've been on a Boeing 720,
left clear takeoff on board 37.
which was a variant of the 707. That's as close as I got to the 707. I got to fly on a Delta DC-8 from LAX to here. That would have been, I guess, in the early 90s, maybe?
Departure, 6390.
Or maybe the late 80s. And in my history, I've flown on 727s and DC-9s and MD-80s and Fokker 100s, I think is what the jet was. And so I've got to fly in a pretty good variety of planes. So the L-1011 and the DC-10. I just wish I had been taking pictures of all those planes as our viewer did earlier in our broadcast. I don't know if you saw it, but one of our viewers who wishes to remain anonymous sent us in a variety of pictures from the early days of DFW Airport. It was just glorious to see all those planes. Every one of which, except for the 747s and the 707, I had had a chance to fly on. See a Frontier plane back there going to San Francisco with Ozzy the Orca on board. And there's the Turkish tail, not to be confused with the Flying Room.
Departure.
18 left, Rotterdam 10,000 Turkish Airlines.
Larry Barron, channel member, says, I've been watching planes since I was a kid, but didn't know plane spotting was a thing until I first watched AVL, Airline Videos Live, 3 years ago. And of course, AVL just celebrated its 4th anniversary. And again, congratulations to Kevin and to Rudy. And as I've said many times before, Kevin and Jerry from Big Jet TV were my big inspirations for starting this channel. And I've been very lucky enough to meet both of those gentlemen. Although I did feel more of a kinship with Kevin because of his background in TV news, which is my background. But unlike Kevin, who quit TV news to go full-time into live plane spotting, I still got my foot in the door in TV news. And I believe with that departure, we have now exhausted our very long list of Runway DFW members. Thanks again to each of our members for your support of the channel. Let's check the weather here. Pop it up on the bottom of the screen. 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind 20 miles an hour out of the south, with gusting to 29. And I should report on the Celsius temperature for our non-American viewers. Celsius temperature is 26 degrees.
One right clear to land, hold of taxiway Bravo, envoy 3581.
Time to put our clock back in. American Flight 154 going to London Heathrow at 777-200 is on the move. I believe this will be it here. It's entirely possible that that plane will be directed over to the east side for takeoff, but we'll keep our fingers crossed.
One right, clear land, short of Bravo, envoy 4279.
We say goodnight now to MR Rice. MR, good to see you again. Airline Videos. That's Kevin. Did I hear my name? Yes, Kevin. We talk about you quite often here, and almost always in a very good way. Thank you for popping in, Kevin. It's always nice to have a celebrity here with us. And of course, we just mentioned that Kevin and Rudy celebrated their 4th anniversary with live broadcasts. Of course, Kevin's been doing this for a longer time than that. And this weekend, Kevin and Rudy are hitting the road for San Francisco, and I can't wait for those shows. They will be, if I understood you correctly, Kevin, you'll be broadcasting live from your new vehicle as you drive up to SFO, so that should be interesting. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got a plane coming in from Destin Fort Walton Beach in Florida. It's an American Eagle Embraer 175.
Tower Skyway 65 and visual 18 right. Right, clear to land.
And as we just recently delineated, we've got a windy night here at Founders Plaza.
Take off 18 left out of empty park.
As we wait for the Turkish plane to line up, we've got an A300 backing out from UPS World. This is flight 761. It's going to Ontario, California.
20 right, clear to land, short of Bravo.
Got a little pushback action there.
Golf 8, truck 18 left over to ground on the other side after sub. Adam 13581.
I don't think we missed the
Target American 1693 is with clear to land, right American 1693. Ultra 18 left, long boy 4275.
Clear, take out 18 left, RNAP, Park American 788.
18 left, left, wait American 190. Tower housing market 24, visually 18 right.
Aviation Geek says, I would rather eat at DFW than on a plane.
18 right, clear to land, show to Bravo American 2020.
Well, what's your favorite place to eat here? I guess there's a lot of variety. Hey, there's Cloudy Sayers saying good evening. She's a channel member and a great Instagram find. Check her out at AA Pilot Wife on Instagram. She has a knack for that kind of stuff. Larry Brown, channel member, says, loved spotting at SFO. Got to get another work trip to Sunnyvale so I can spot there again. Kevin, not the airline videos, Kevin. A different Kevin, channel member, says, people who have a career in news usually have the best content on YouTube. Distant Signal is the greatest on train spotting, and he's a news guy. I'll have to check that out. I like trains. Game Boy Lyrics, is any MD-11s here today? Yes, if we pan over to the right with this camera, we have one, and that's it. We should be seeing that going out before we go off the air. That Colin guy says, last time I had a layover at DFW, I ate at the Wolfgang Puck. Great dinner before the quick jaunt back to Oklahoma City. And an aviation geek says, TGI Fridays. Are they still in business? I thought they declared bankruptcy very recently.
Underway on clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 71.
18 left, temperature 53999.
Cloudy says, Walt, it's so windy today. Hope you can stand your ground at Founders, and thank you so much for the mention. I am so happy to spread the word about you, Cloudy, to those who haven't found your fine work yet. Yes, if you're an aviation person, be sure, and you're a Instagram person, be sure to add AA Pilot Wife to your follows. You will not be disappointed. Well, speaking of Kevin from Airline Videos Live, we have a flight coming in from his home base at LAX.
Park 18, quick takeoff, Frontier Flight 3999. Runway 18 left, 48.
Flight 2024, 737-800. And this again is an A300 UPS Flight 761 going to Ontario, California. Ron C., channel member, says, is Salt Lick Barbecue still at the DFW Airport? And the random spotter with the answer, yes, and it's still absolutely delicious. Tyler Durden says, my wife just pulled 2 TGI Friday gift cards out of her purse. You might want to see about cashing those in before it's too late. Carlos Garcia says, what is a good place to grab a quick bite at DFW? My wife and I have layover there on a return flight from Nashville to Albuquerque on June 11th. Well, we've got some suggestions already. McCameron 63 offering up Papacitos as a suggestion, and Sean Took says Papado is in Terminal A. Used to work there years ago when I was in college. Papado, kind of a Cajun seafood restaurant.
Tower American 2361 with you, visual 18 right. Clear to land, runway 18 right, and hold short of Bravo.
So I think the last time I traveled to LAX, I grabbed a bagel at Einstein Brothers. But I haven't, here's the thing, since I travel from here and to here, I probably don't dine as much, or wouldn't have the opportunity to dine as much here at DFW as I would if I were a passenger who was transferring from one plane to another and had a layover. So I am not the authority on DFW dining options. So the A300 makes the turn.
UPS 761 Heavy, RNAV clearing, clear for takeoff, 18 left.
couldn't hear if they got the clear for takeoff or not because the wind is blowing so intensely right at the moment.
4817.
Hey, Tower American, 1036, short of verify 18 left. Alright, appreciate tag, 18 left, out of play, away, American 1036.
Whiskey Lima Cross point left.
And so we reduce our UPS airplane count by 1. I've still got 5 planes over there. We've got another one backing out right now. Flight 773 to the UPS home base at Louisville, the World Port, to 767.
$19.97.
20th century aeroplane getting pushed back.
Takeoff 18 left, American 1030.
1538, 18 left, final.
Oh, Anna, the dispatcher, with a
Short 18 left, Lima, American.
with a footnote to the talk about Cloudy, who is absolutely the sweetest human ever. I cannot disagree with that. She's very, very nice, very thoughtful. Well, the FedEx flight that we see around this time coming in from Alliance Airport in Fort Worth, that 12 to 13 minute flight has just touched down. Unfortunately, it didn't touch down right in front of us tonight. It touched down on runway 13 right, which is out of our sight, but we should be able to pick it up as it taxis. We've discussed this, and I guess we've come to the conclusion that it is a thing. It's a nightly route, at least on weeknights, or at least on the weeknights we've been here, from Alliance Airport in Fort Worth, which is about 15-16 miles to the west of here. It takes off from there, which is a FedEx base. They have a hub there, or at least they have a facility at Alliance. They make the 13-minute trip over to DFW, and they go over to the east side of the airport where FedEx has a facility analogous to what UPS has here on the west side. And then they fly from there to another destination. I can't remember which destination it was that our viewer who had knowledge of that told us about. But we should be seeing the familiar colors of FedEx in this shot momentarily as it begins its long taxi from the southwest side of the airport to the northeast side of the airport, where it's got to wind up. And I dare say that's going to be a longer trip than it was from Alliance Airport to DFW. I think it's going to be a longer taxi from landing at DFW to the FedEx headquarters here.
2669 is the 18 right.
And I would have thought we would have seen the FedEx plane by now, but we should see it shortly, although we're about to get photobombed by that UPS 767 that we saw backing out. It's
Departure for takeoff, runway 18 left on 7.
well, there's the FedEx.
21 left, Happily, that's 4950.
Our American 2958, waiting on
Kind of hard to see. There's its package competitor.
Hotel with Knox Travel, American 2958.
1322, special approach GT.
Waiting to red American 2958.
Well, my hat would have been in Oklahoma had I not had headphones holding it down with that gust of wind just now. Oh, we should mention this.
1992.
So that FedEx 757 right there dates back to December 1992, a 32-year-old aircraft. Whoa.
How's the departure? 3057, give a good day.
So unfortunately, we don't get the best view of the FedEx tonight, but maybe next time. But that's just an interesting flight. Back to the A300. You can kind of see it there in the background of this shot, right over there. As we see an American Eagle flight coming in from Wichita there in the background. Did I call this an A300? It's a 767. Silly me. American Flight 1092 to El Paso, and Airbus A321 is what that is.
What sort of one? That gold phase flight. Departure, good night, Beckford, 71. Departure, 1992.
And there goes the 767.
Right, left up in Wade American 2093.
Alright, 18 left, go to Gold Stage, Alpha route, over the beach.
American 2361. American 2361.
had a shot set there, and my tripod had other ideas. Blowing in the wind. John Hume, channel member, says good evening and good morning and all that stuff. I don't mean to dismiss your I'll get back to that in a second. American 1332 arriving from Denver in Airbus A321. Alright, hold on a second. So John said, good morning, good evening, folks. A massive thank you to the person that gifted me last stream. Very much appreciated. Jim Rockford says, watching from Las Vegas. Hope everyone is blessed. Thank you, Jim. Sean Took, are there any UPS planes still in the old livery with the old UPS logo? I haven't seen any. The closest we come to that sometimes is there's a plane or two that has the old slogan on the side. Instead of worldwide services, it says something like synchronizing, I can't remember, it has the word synchronizing in it. We get an aloha from Island Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, Ascending Dragon 1 says that FedEx plane that we were talking about earlier winds up at the mini hub in Greensboro.
Just getting him across my left, Alpha Route, Southern Bridge, American 13. Departure, American 993.
See what happened to that FedEx plane. Did it go? Oh, it went over the South Bridge. Okay.
Good evening. Spirit 193 is 188. Sure, 193 DFW Alright, clear the land to 188. 193.
Channel member Doug Houston says, good evening. Happy to see you.
Hey there, only 3459. Fortunate, we'll follow the CRJ Golf and Whiskey Golf, 18 left, by 3459.
Nick Resin says that FedEx plane just happens to be an ex-United Airlines N574UA. Texas Girl says Volaris is on the radar. What do you know? There it is. Thank you, Texas Girl. Chris on the drums wants to know what sparked your interest in aviation. Thanks for the wonderful streams. Did I put that up? There's the question from Chris on the drums, one of our channel members. And Chris, I've spoken about this before, but I mean, I've always had a very kind of a sidebar interest in aviation. And here's that Volaris flight, which is off to Mexico City in Airbus A321. But it's, you know, my interest as a younger person was not taking pictures, unfortunately. It was collecting timetables, and you know, timetables have become a thing of the past for the most part for airlines because everything's online. But every month, in some cases, maybe every 2 weeks, airlines used to put out printed timetables. And, you know, for the bigger airlines, they were quite voluminous. They were mostly pocket size, that is, you could fit them in your back pocket. You know, they were maybe 2.5 inches wide and maybe 7 inches tall. It was kind of a standard
Line up and wait, envoy 3459.
dimension for timetables, but I was just totally fascinated with timetables to see where you could go and what kind of planes would operate on certain routes. And some timetables were better than others. Pan Am's was always great because they went to so many different places. Some timetables didn't have the level of detail that others had. I remember Pan Am's was very detail oriented.
Right, we're searching for traffic. Reagan. Traffic inside.
An American Eagle flight going to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Quick update now on our MD, and as you can see, it's all. As I push the button, as you can see, it's all buttoned up now.
Master Aaron, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff, runway 3459.
So we may be seeing that going out sooner rather than later. I would like to thank Anthony Guinan for a $10 super chat. Anthony's a channel member, says, missed a lot of shows while traveling. Good to be back.
Go ahead.
Well, Anthony, all of our shows are recorded here on YouTube for your rewatching pleasure. Now, I know that's not the same as watching a live show, but thank you for that. I really appreciate your support. Uncool Robbie says timetables were great. Take it from an old airline guy. And I won't belabor it, but I have told on more than one occasion my fascination with the OAG, the official airline guide, which was a phone book-sized timetable with all the airlines. You know, it was meant for travel agents, but I was able to get my hands on it through my workplace. I would pick up the most recently rejected one. I think they came out twice a month, the OAG did. And so when our assignment desk at work would get the new one, I'd grab the old one and take it home and just thumb through it. Let's see, we've got American Flight 3294, an Airbus A321, which is about to be dispatched to Albuquerque. There it is, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Here it goes. New Mexico, of course, right next door to Texas on the west side. So I'm pretty sure that flight is less than 90 minutes.
Line up and wait, 8 left, envoy 4015. Five the other side and across 18 left, clear 139.
If you're just tuning in and you're a regular viewer of ours, you'll notice that we're just got one main camera tonight, and we don't have our usual secondary camera. That's mainly because of the wind tonight. I didn't want to have set too much stuff up, and also because of I got here later than I hoped to. 182Q KFTW says a Lightning 21, an F-35 in the pattern at Navy Fort Worth, told the tower He had an engine malfunction this afternoon, climbed to high key, then low, then landed. They build them here across the runway. And there goes our tripod again, being windmilled by a gust. Larry Brown says, long day, great stream and chat. Not at all. Thank you, Larry. Rachel Daly Hug also off to nighty night. Have a great night. Thanks, Walt. Thank you, Rachel, for being a channel member and a friend of the channel. Uncle Plane Guy says, hello, Walt from Indianapolis. They finished the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum and open test for IndyCar next Wednesday and Thursday. Well, we are getting close to the month of May, are we not? Yeah, the Indy 500 is just like a whole month-long thing in Indianapolis. And I ought to know. I was there back in the 70s. Actually covered the Indianapolis 500 a couple of times. The first time, I think that would have been in 1975. I was in turn 3 with a film camera on a wooden scaffold, and as I recall, I had to use a rope to. I mean, it wasn't stairs; it was just a ladder to go up there, and I had to use a rope to hoist my camera, which probably weighed about 25 or 30 pounds. And then, of course, there was the tripod. Let's take a look at what's happening here. Nothing coming in, so it's all departures at this moment. Boot Doctor says, I see a windsock at the right edge of the view. Do you? I cannot make it out on my... Oh wait, I think I do see what you're looking at. I don't think I'd ever noticed that before. Let me stabilize that shot. It's a windsock. Very good observation.
RNAV B Park 1 left, quick takeoff, American 2628.
Wood Doctor says looks gusting to about 15 knots. And let's see, the latest METAR we have is winds gusting to 24 knots.
Departure on 46.
Joseph says, where can I get an OAG timetable? I think the only place to get those these days would be at the library. Libraries used to have them. They may still have old ones in microfilm or microfiche, one of my favorite words. But I don't think they still print them. Spirit Flight 200 off to LAX. An Airbus A321. You know, I bet if you went to eBay has everything. I bet somebody's got some old OAG timetables on offer. It'd probably be pretty expensive to mail. Although maybe there's special printed material rates. But they were, you know, in the heyday, they were voluminous. They were telephone book sized, those OAGs.
What's Lima across 20 left ground 25, 50-52.
Airbus A321 touching down from Phoenix, Arizona. American flight number 3232. And while we were looking at that,
west, that's probably 124.
the tail with the engine on it has backed up.
You show something different, actually. We did send.
This is flight 765 UPS. It's on its way to
Alright, go Alpha, short of 18 left, and
the
we'll call
World Port in Louisville.
And 3232.
There's that magical engine number 2.
1995.
And that is a 30-year-old aircraft as of this month. So happy birthday to UPS N278UP.
SC26 for me. 3232.
B. Strake says, I find OAG at antique stores sometimes.
Never end up sending it, so you had the info.
That's I'd have to check that out. If you're an av geek, that would be a thing to do. I mean, it's like a coffee table book. You could just look at that forever, and you know, you see all these airlines that don't exist anymore, going to all these exotic places on aircraft that don't exist anymore. That's a good thought. Udai says, moments ago you were discussing the FedEx cargo flight. FedEx soon launches the longest cargo flight from Singapore to Anchorage. That'll be interesting. I know that our friend Jerry from Big Jet TV has been in Anchorage the last couple of days. What an av geek stream that is, Anchorage. Our friend Skittles is here. Hello, Skittles. So glad to see you. Skittles, a Quadjet channel member and friend of the channel. And Joe South confirms, yes, eBay has those OAG. Thank you. Okay. You know, you might also... Somebody might have scanned those things. They could also be in the archive.org. Might be worth a check there.
20 left at Alpha.
So that Texan collector letting us know that this particular aircraft started life in 1995 with Japan Airlines as JA8586, as it goes out of our picture there. Converted to freighter in 2003, then put in service with UPS in 2004. Thank you for that background information. Yeah, let's see what direction it goes. Keep your fingers crossed that it does not make a hard right turn. And if it doesn't, it keeps going in more or less a straight direction, we'll see it take off here on the west side. Always a treat. Quite a gang over here tonight.
right, line up 18.
Hey, we have an extra treat for you coming up. Singapore Airlines cargo has lit up on the radar. It's a 747. It'll be going to Brussels. 747-400, so it could be going over the bridge, but we'll see. In any event, this aircraft I don't think will be going over the bridge. I think it's going to take off from here on 18 left. And the wind is blowing in just the right direction, so we get a whiff of that jet fuel exhaust. May be the proverbial turn and burn, because I don't see any other planes over there to block its way. Oh, maybe there are a couple planes over there. I can't tell.
Tower American. We'll be ready to take
very short
perfect. Should be
rollout needed for that plane.
Departure via 765 hit. Australia Tower, 550, 9 miles, 18 right.
Flyer KG has favored us with 5 Runway DFW gift memberships. Thank you, Flyer KG, who is a channel member. We welcome Blue Dragon Who, PA Flyer 65, The Goose is Loose, Wendy B, and Ernest. Let me see, you scroll down here. Ernest G. Ernie. Welcome to our new members, and thank you again, Flyer KG. Just after 10 o'clock, we are coming to you live. We're coming to you live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, and if you've just happened upon us, what is this? Well, it's Runway DFW After Dark, battling the winds and bringing you the planes for another probably 20-30 minutes or so, as we are kind of in the home stretch here at Founders Plaza. So if I don't get blown away before the bottom of the hour, we'll be here with you until around then. So glad to have your company here as we watch the planes come and go and back out. This is UPS flight 755. It's an Airbus A300 going to Chicago Rockford International Airport.
Airnav to Larry, clear for takeoff, way 18 left, boy 3391.
So 22-year-old A300. Cloudy Sayers has favored us with 5 Runway DFW gift memberships. Thank you, Cloudy. And once again, Cloudy is the proprietor of AA Pilot Wife on Instagram. Really, really great channel for av geeks like us. So our new members, courtesy of Cloudy, include John M, Texas_Airways, Jasmine S, XL Aviation Spotting, and Rockin' Desert Rose, Marcy Lynn. So welcome to all of you. And thanks again to Cloudy. And we have a new Twin Jet member, Patrick Erdman. So Patrick, welcome to you. JR Melton, 2207 is a rack time for JR, so thank you for hanging out with us tonight. So I think
Park runway, yeah, 3391.
I think we'll hold out for the departure of the Singapore Airlines 747 to Brussels, and I think that will close out our broadcast on this windy Thursday night. Once again, we will not have a regular Saturday show from DFW Airport, as Mrs. Runway DFW and I are on special assignment. But I don't know, we may pop up with a little something on Saturday. Just have to keep your notification bells engaged.
Whiskey Lima on towards man, got out 550. Left to wind from emergency.
Clear to cross, 18 left on Whiskey Lima.
Channel member Dale Helton is saying good night to us. Dale, thank you for your support of the channel. We'll see you next time. Nothing is coming in here on this side. I may try to show you a FedEx 767, which looks like it's been diverted. It's coming in on the east side. It was en route from El Paso to Memphis, and it has been diverted to DFW. And we will flip around and see that momentarily. It's coming in on the east side, so we won't get a close-up view of it, but we will get to see it coming in. Don't know why it's been diverted. Could be weather in Memphis. I don't know what the weather is in Memphis right now. But we'll check that out momentarily, so hang out there with us if you would. Not quite in our vision yet. That Texan collector says, good to know UPS will probably keep these A300s around for a while. They all just received brand new cockpits. I did not know that. Okay, so as soon as this makes the turn here, I think we're going to try to find that FedEx plane flying around in the sky. The one that is been diverted.
Alright, cross. 8 right on Whiskey Foxtrot, line up between 18 left, yes, 55 heading. Departure, have a good emergency.
I don't have a way to switch over to the east tower with the radio that I'm using tonight. Is that it? No, that's not it. This could be it. I think that's it. I see a purple tail. So this is the the 767-300 freighter.
RNFE Park 18 left, pick off, GPS 55 heading.
This plane is not even a year old. It'll be a year old next month. And once again, if you're just joining us, FedEx plane diverted from its original route of El Paso, Texas to Memphis, Tennessee. Diverted here to DFW. We will assume that that will make a safe touchdown over there. Here goes the A300. And as the A300 pops off, American Flight 1711 from San Francisco landed, and now here goes Singapore Airlines 747. 747-400.
Singapore 795, runway 18.
This is a 19-year-old 747-400.
Get across the 18 left with you, the red.
So it's now old enough to vote. And I think this will be our last plane of the night. We will not have a chatstravaganza tonight, owing to the fact that we don't have a lot of gear to tear down. I don't know, maybe we'll have a mini chatstravaganza. What you hear in the background is a UPS 767, which is just revving up for a trip to Louisville.
Singapore 795, ready.
This plane once again going to Brussels, Belgium.
Land 18 right, United 1152.
I should probably follow along with that, shouldn't I? We may get photobombed by a UPS plane here.
Heavy, copy, 18 right, line up and wait, 18 left. Singapore 7951 east.
Airplane 5 radar contact approximately 1 mile south of DFW Airport. You're clear to Electronics Bravo airspace bus number 2976, Pine Road, northbound approved.
All right, here goes the UPS 767 off to Louisville. Flight 793. This is a 5-year-old plane.
Park clear for takeoff, 18 left, UPS 93 heavy.
Lifted off from about the same place as that MD-11 did.
23 Heavy, Canadian.
So off it goes to Louisville. And I think on this Thursday night, that's about going to do it for Runway DFW. So we will have a mini chat extravaganza following up here. Not a lot of stuff for me to take down, so that's just be a couple things. So maybe it'll last 5 minutes or so. I don't know. But at this time,
Across 18 left, Foxtrot Alpha, and over to ground on the Alpha Bridge.
I would like to say thank you. Thank you to the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. They make this such a nice place to hang out if you're into chatting, even if you're just into reading the chats. Thank you. Hats off to the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. Thank you to our channel sponsor, James Webb, for his ongoing support of this enterprise, and also for his big super chat earlier this evening. Let me thank also new member Patrick Erdman, Cloudy Sayers for sending 5 memberships, Flyer KG also donating memberships along with Ralph Woodard, thank you to you, Anthony Guinan with a $10 super chat, Jeffrey Boo with a $10 super chat, Hassan Badr with a $5 super chat, and 757 Chip with a $10 super chat. Thanks to all of you for your support. Thanks for watching. Again, we will not be here on Saturday, nor will we be at DFW Airport next week, but you never know, we might pop up over the course of the next 7 to 10 days, so keep your notification bells switched on. And that's it. Happy contrails to you until we meet again.
Left 508 on board the 940.
That was on our spare.
Travel arrangements for overseas acts and promotional consideration furnished by Pan American World Airways, the world's most experienced airline. Pan Am makes the going great. This is Dick Tufeld speaking.
Alrighty then. We have exhausted our ability to pack things up without turning our stream off. So once again, I thank you so much for being with us here. Once again, if you're just joining us, we will not have a regular show on Saturday. We will not be at DFW next week as Mrs. Runway DFW and I are off on a special assignment. So keep your notification bells tuned in. We may have something for you in the interim, but our next regularly scheduled broadcast from here will probably be a week from next Tuesday. So thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and subscriptions, and special thanks to our members, and a very special thanks to our great moderators. And that's it for us. Happy contrails to you until we meet once again on Runway DFW.
Gotta get going, love you, bye for now.